All rise. He's Jamal Spencer.
And he's Mark Skol Jr. Sports Court is in session. Welcome to another edition of Sports Court as we are wrapping up the summer doldrums by arguing this point that you've probably mentioned once or twice before at a family picnic or a barbecue or around the water cooler. Who is the best fictional athlete of all time? And there is a lot of people to choose from. But you know what? With all due respect to my man Bobby Boucher, the soul-crushing water boy linebacker, I'm gonna go with Forrest Gump, who just so happens to be a All-American kick returner for the Alabama football team, and then later in life decided to pick up a ping pong battle and become an Olympian, which is a tremendous feat in and of itself. Forrest Gump, hands down, the best athlete in the history of fictional athletes.
You forgot to mention that he also ran across the country, so I don't know how many marathons that is, but Forrest Gump's a good pick, Jamal. But for me, it's Benny the Jet Rodriguez. He wore the PF Flyers, guaranteed to make a kid run faster, jump higher. He was an unbelievable athlete. He was able to out-pickle the beast in one of the greatest summers of all time. But I think it's clearly Benny the Jet Rodriguez, and for 1 point only. When Smalls put his hand up to catch the ball, and he's like, don't worry, I'll hit it right there. He hits it right in the glove. No professional athlete could do that. That's an unbelievable feat right there. Benny the Jet Rodriguez is the greatest fictional athlete of all time.
Come on, Mark, have you ever seen The Natural? You know, have you ever seen what Roy Hobbs can do with a baseball bat? You talk about a guy who could put it wherever he wants it. That guy could hit for power, he could hit for doubles, triples, you name it, whatever he wanted to do, he could do. If you're talking about baseball players, aren't there better baseball players than Benny the Jet Rodriguez? Or is that just a little nostalgia talking?
No, because, I mean, you think about Roy Hobbs, that's what you just mentioned. He had to have his bats. If he didn't have his bat, he wasn't the player he was. Henry Rowan Gardner obviously had an unbelievable stretch in one of those summers back in the 90s, but then he lost it. Benny the Jet Rodriguez, he was always the cool kid growing up. He was able to run faster than that giant dog in the neighborhood, the Beast. He stole home in the majors too, might I add. He actually got to the big leagues. Forrest Gump never did.
Forrest Gump definitely never got to the big leagues, you're right about that. But he did meet several U.S. presidents along the way, and you're right, the guy ran across the country like 4 times. Who knows how many marathons that is, but he definitely inspired thousands of people with his athletic exploits. So word to Forrest Gump. I think we're gonna get a lot of votes for Rocky. That's just my 2 cents. But what's your verdict? Jury at home, comment on Facebook. Next week we'll highlight our favorites.
Last week, we asked if the Tigers should be buyers or sellers as the trade deadline approaches.
Steve rejects the whole idea. Stand pat. I think this having to be buyer or seller is bunk.
And I can picture Joe just rolling his eyes and shrugging as he says, 8 more years of rebuilding, why not?
Well, you don't have to wait 8 years. Just another 7 days until the next Sports Court. Until next time, Sports Court is adjourned.